I'm joined today with author Michael Byron Smith. And Michael is the author of a great new book called The Vagabond Life. And he is going to share that book with us today, which we're so excited to hear about. Michael, please tell us a little bit about this book.
Well, A Vagabond Life, and the title comes from the fact that as a child, me and my five brothers and sisters moved around quite a bit. We maybe moved to 3 times a year, and I've gone to multiple schools, maybe 30, 35 different schools. So it's hard to keep up with things. So basically, it's a story about a chaotic, dysfunctional family. My mother is the one who raised us, and she was undereducated, and her jobs were always minimal pay. My father was chronically irresponsible, and he was also a vagabond. He sailed the seven seas as a merchant marine, and he was gone from us a lot. But he didn't never sent money home to help us. So we were in a pretty much of a mess. That's why we moved around a lot, because we couldn't keep up with our bills and paying rent. So it's about struggles, and it's the struggles that which are obvious to anybody who has been raised by parents who can't be attentive enough to your needs. The other is it's a story about struggles that no one even knows about, and those kind of struggles are those such as not knowing how to use tools, or not knowing how to study, or not knowing how to deal with friends, or how to deal with anything. You just have to figure it out on your own, and I didn't do that well all the time, and I became very, very shy and a little backwards. So but I knew I wanted to get out of that. So that's where that's A Vagabond Life is a little bit about that too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's so many people out there that can already relate to this book just from what you've said.
Yeah,
Whether they had both parents or not, or their parents weren't attentive, growing up and not knowing how to do certain things, because as children, we need to be taught those things, and having to figure all of that out, and just how
yeah,
complicated that can be. So I love that you put this story actually on paper and made it a book. I'd
mm,
love to know your process behind that. I know you've actually published a first book many years ago, but I'm wondering, how did this one come about? Why did you decide to write this, essentially your life story, in this
yeah.
book?
Well, my original plan was to write a book, write down notes of what I found was good as in being a father or a parent, and because I knew what I was lacking, and I knew what I did that helped my family, my kids all turned out wonderfully. They're successful, and they're good people. My family, the six of us, you know, half of us are doing well and half of us aren't, and that's part of the story. So when when I when I was about 45, I started taking notes that I was going to share with my family and my nieces, my extended family, nieces, nephews, my kids, and and I was going to be, but worked on it so long that I decided, hey, I'm just going to make this a book if I can, and that book was the power of dadhood. It was how to be the father your child needs. I wasn't real thrilled about the subtitle, but my publisher changed it on me. But it's a book that helps new fathers and old fathers that are having troubles with being, a dad. And there's a lot of challenges in there that I talk about that you can meet. And so that was my original thought, was to write that book, and that was 10 years ago when that was published. So about 7 years later, I decided, maybe I'm going to write another book that tells why I wrote the first book, A Power of Dadhood, and that one is a vagabond life. And as I said, we were vagabonds. My father was a vagabond. We never stayed in one place too long. Uh, my father was a vagabond around the world. We were a vagabond, like from city to county to country to, just moving all the time. So, so I took those notes, wrote that book, and then I decided to write about my life as a child. Nothing in this book is Everything in this book is over 50 years old. Um, so it was the reason I wrote this book as a follow up to The Power of Dadhood. It tells why I wrote The Power of Dadhood. It's a story that made me write this first book. And so that was my inspiration. And and as I wrote it, it was I couldn't remember a lot. You don't remember a lot when you've had troubles as a kid, but I remembered the important things, and it was a little cathartic, and it was helpful to me, and I hope it's helpful to others who are in the same situation.
Well, I think it definitely will be, because it's just a story that will resonate with so many people out there. Both of your books, really, which I love. Before we go, is there anything else that you'd like to share with us about your books?
Yes, for one thing, it is not. Um, it's about me, but it's not about me. I wrote this book, and I just carry a story, and I'm just the person that carries the story because a lot of people have my story, and a lot of people will identify with it because they don't have the same situation and the same results, but they can read this and say, yeah, there's someone else that lived my life in a way, and I know that I can get out of it if I try. That's the other thing. It's if you want to get out of it, you got to take something into yourself and to do good, get out of it. Because when you help yourself enough, all of a sudden people show up that want to help you. The other side of the coin is because you've never been encouraged, because you've never had any help, you've not been mentored, and your self confidence might be low. You could stay in this situation, and then as an adult, never get out of it. And so this my book, Background Life, will show both sides. I mean, mostly me. What drug me through my book, what got me through my life, not my book, but through my life, was I always wanted to be a pilot, and I said that's the thing that I want to be. And to get to be a pilot, I have to have a college degree, and so I got to have good grades to get a college degree. And by golly, that's when people come to help you because my counselor in high school called me down, and I ended up getting a full scholarship to a prestigious university. And from there, I joined Air Force ROTC, and I did become a pilot in the Air Force, and my dream came true. So you can get there if you want it bad enough, and you can also be stuck in it if you let it happen. And that's what I want people to know and learn.
Well, you've shared so many little nuggets of wisdom just in this short interview that I am sure the book is full of those. I want to encourage people, go check out A Vagabond Life. Again, it's by author Michael Byron Smith, and you can get it at all sorts of places where books are sold, online on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Apple iTunes, as an ebook. So those are just a few places that you can grab this book. I encourage you to go check it out. Michael, thank you again for sharing this book and your previous book with us. We appreciate it, and we can't wait to see what you do next.
Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully I'll move on to some other kind of topic maybe, but yeah, it was a joy writing it. It was a little hard sometimes, but it was important to me to get it out there, and I thank you for giving me the opportunity to spread the word.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.